Hi, and welcome to this time of prayer. And how does fear impact you? And it may be, well, it depends on what type of fear it is. It depends upon what's happening, the context of it. But at a very basic level, it impacts us, right? We can feel it sometimes deep down. It makes us sometimes want to run, freeze, or fight, right? Fear has this amazing ability to change us, to get us off course, to take us to places we never wanted to be. And so how does fear impact us? So for today, I've got Luke 19, verses 20 through 23. Another servant came and said, "Master, here is your money. I wrapped it up in a scarf for safekeeping. I was afraid of you because you are a stern man. You withdraw what you haven't deposited, and you harvest what you haven't planted." The king replied, "I will judge you by the words of your own mouth, you worthless servant. You knew, did you, that I'm a stern man, withdrawing what I didn't deposit and harvesting what I didn't plant? Why then didn't you put my money in the bank? Then when I arrived, at least I could have gotten it back with interest." So it's this sense, right? It's this overwhelming sense. The servant is fearful. The person who is purposefully instilling fear in someone else. And so the servant kind of like, I don't know what exactly to do, and so this is what I'm going to do, and it still is probably going to be the wrong decision, and I'm still going to get in trouble, and so to realize how fear can impact us and change and cloud our judgment. Because, right, the king says, you could have put it in a bank, made some interest. You could have done something very basic, but instead you buried it. And both here, the king here in this parable is not the good guy. And the servant here is struggling. And so it's that realization of how fear not only impacts us, but how fear can impact someone else. And to take that care. The king should have had compassion, because the king knew that that's what he does. He instills fear in others. And so to really think about that, to think about how fear impacts our lives and everyone around us, and how can we begin to move forward, to move through, to mitigate, to say, I'm with you, instead of how dare you. Pray with me. Oh God, there are so many fears in this world, and you keep calling us to your love. You keep calling us back and saying you are worthy. You keep calling us back and saying, come on, there's a different way of living. Help us, oh God, this day to not only understand our own fears, but to understand the fears around us so that we can begin to move forward, move beyond, move through, that we can begin to mitigate and live a life that puts those fears aside. Help us, oh God, this day and every day. Amen. Have a good one.